together for 45 years and popularly known as Barai family all over. As the family grew, we added our son-in-laws and added Patel and such families as our relatives. He was the patriarch of the family, taking care of 4 children and 4 grandchildren. In order to provide the best for his family, he lived a very frugal life for himself so he could give more to the family. He even scolded me and told me, "You're wasting too much money, control yourself." So I had to listen to him. An ardent sports fan and followed every game, be it football, baseball, or a game of cricket. And he entertained himself with watching Indian TV serials, reality TV, and got emotional with the stories. And being in the TV and entertainment business myself, when I told him that this content is all scripted, he argued with me and got mad at me at times. I'm sure Z and Sony TV are going to miss a big viewer. He was a good fellow. A very religious and a pious man, always eager to go for a pilgrimage to Srinathji at Night. He was a very positive thinker, and as and when anyone either got sick or was not feeling well, he would pick them up by saying, "Don't be afraid, go get yourself checked out." He himself went through several health issue hurdles, but nothing deterred him from crossing each one and moved on with his life, always smiling and encouraging others. We only wish he had also jumped the last hurdle to reach the finish line. Unfortunately, you did not, my friend. His sincerity towards family and friends was commendable. He was also very sincere about his workplace and worked for his company for more than 40 years, making it his first and the only job in his life. So that's called dedication towards work and, of course, family. I want to sincerely thank all of you for coming out today and extending your support for our family. It means a lot to us. The family has requested privacy for the cremation for immediate family members only. A lot went on with the Barai family in the last few weeks. He lost his elder brother in Bangalore, which we didn't even tell him. So within few weeks, we lost 2 Barai brothers. We had the eldest brother, Sri Changai Ushababi, when we called them parents in this country, Changai. He's here. So with that, I say goodbye to my best friend and wish him a blissful journey ahead. May peace be with you. We will miss you, but we'll continue to celebrate your life and cherish your memories. Om Shanti. I'd like to invite son-in-law, Mansi Sarpan, Sawat Patel, to pay his tribute.
Hello? Can everybody hear me? Hey, thanks everybody for coming today to celebrate Suresh Barai's life. My name's Suresh. I'm his son-in-law. He never treated me like a son-in-law. He always treated me like a son. He never told me what I needed to do. He always showed me what I needed to do. Through compassion, forgiveness, through hard work, through loving his kids and showing me how that I need to love my kids. He would come to our house every Friday to I'd make him tacos. And he'd tell everybody he was coming, but he wouldn't tell me. He'd tell me that I might be able to make it, I might not, I don't know, and then at the last minute show up. He'd have a half a Corona, he'd sit down, actually no, 3/4 of a Corona. He'd sit down, have a taco, and ironically he would call 2 to 3 of his friends and tell them about the experience that I made a taco fish. It was comical every time he did it, and especially when he came over for barbecues, he would tell me the same thing that, hey, I don't know if I can make it, I'll try. What are you cooking? And then when I told him the dishes, he would ironically swing by. But the one thing I do know is he loved his kids, his family, his grandkids were his world. Aaron, Aiden, Ian, and the new little guy on the block, Aaron, which unfortunately he didn't get a chance to hold. But I know he's looking down on him and all of them and wishing them well and happiness in everything they do in their lives. And I know he'll be there as he guided me through my first 13 years of marriage, 12 years of marriage, I'm sorry. I know he'll be there to guide them spiritually, mentally. And tonight, I say goodbye. And God bless the Dalai Lama. And I wish him well. Thank you.
I would like to invite David Shaw.
So my wedding party, the groom side of the party, was hosted by Suresh. I showed up, with 20 hooligan friends from Buffalo. None of them knew him. I barely knew him. And he opened up his house to host us. The only mistake he made was to offer his entire bar with premium liquor to my hooligan friends. These are the guys who haven't seen anything more than Old Monk in their lives. And you can imagine the entire evening turned into an impromptu bachelor's party, and we ruined their brand new carpet. That's the kind of a person he was. Since that day, I adopted him as my US dad. I would hang out with him at all the get-togethers with friends and family, and there were many of them. There were many at the Barai residence, volleyball parties, weddings, holidays, and many more. He knew how to connect with people of all ages, at their level. And when he would meet them, he would make other connections. He would introduce people and make connections and make everybody feel so comfortable. People from all walks of life would seek him out to share their stories. And one thing you were guaranteed if you were hanging out with him, that he would be always around good food and good-looking company. So I made sure I was always around him. When we bought our house in Belmore, there was an issue with the bank. All I had to do was make one phone call, and he showed up with our deposit money. He was a man of action and not just words. Once we moved to Belmore, he often would help us out with our toddler kids, shuttling them from daycare, schools, games. Over time, my entire family, my sister, my brother, my parents, they all got to know him as their very own Suresh. All of them have sent their deepest condolences to the Barais. We will miss you, Suresh, especially at every holiday party.
He was a foodie, all right. Even his sister has come in, Umi and Jenna, her husband, they came in. The first thing he asked in the hospital, I mean, pull make me this food, that, whatever food, even though he could hardly eat, but he did request and we tried to give him whatever we could. Talking about the hospital, you can see how loved he was, even as a patient. It so happens that Audrey, who took care of him, a special effort today to the AR to come and pay tribute for the treatment. She's been praying for him, and thank you for talking with family, Audrey. Next, I would like to invite one of the daughters, and Nancy and Winnie, would you like to join her here, please? Is Cindy? Oh, you need 2 minutes? Jalal, would you like to say a few words? Dada, Mushabali, please. You've seen him. So first, when he landed at Tongai Mushabali's house, and then he's been treating them as their parents. And she would share some of her memories.
I still can't believe that we're here for Suresh's funeral. I mean, he was like a brother to me, you know. He called it here when he was not even 20. He worked hard, he got his, diploma, he worked in the Standard Waters, and, then he had his own business. And really, like, we're gonna miss him so much, My father, when he came to visit here, my father and mother, we used to live in, New Jersey. And my father and mother, my mother would stay with me in New Jersey. But my father would say, because he used to live, when Suresh used to live in Woodside, my father would say, I want to live with you. He says, I'm your guest, Suresh. Whether you want me or not, I'm going to stay with you. He says, these people are living in jungle, I don't like it there in New Jersey, They should move here to New York, But he was him and Jyoti, they were both so welcoming to my parents, My parents stayed with them whenever they came to visit, So that's the nature of this Suresh, who's like so loving and caring, We're gonna miss him so much. He was the youngest, brother and 7 brothers. And Chandu is devastated with this. He's like really, in deep shock. We wish him, happy journey, and we wish that his soul rest in peace. Jai Shri Krishna.
Any other family members?
We had many differences, but at the end of the day, we always cared for one another. He always made me laugh, always joked with me, and was just a great, jolly uncle. And I can't have asked for a better uncle than him. And we'll really, really miss him, and wish we had some more time with him. But I really loved him, and I miss him.
While Siddhi comes, Mansimini, would you like to say a few words? Should I bring the mic there? Okay. Sorry? Yeah, 2 more minutes and she will be here. Meanwhile, any of the friends from Hicksville, would you like to pay, Bimal Bhai, would you like to pay some your tributes? Where's Bimal Bhai? Rambhai? Rambhai? Pagaji? Would you like to say a few words? Anybody from our friends? Dinu? Hemant? There's a lot to be said about this man, so.
You guys have heard so much about him from friends and family, but I am not even a family, but the type of character Suresh Bhai carried, I just want to express my feelings towards him. I'm a past banker, I used to work in a bank, and every time I used to call him as a banker, whoever worked in a bank can understand, goals means a lot, and every time I needed something, I would say, Suresh Bhai, I need one account, ek account jo hai. Suresh Bhai would come there, the type of character I'm trying to tell you, that how caring he was about anybody, even though I was not a family. He would come and say, okay, I'll come, I'll come police. And he'll come and he'll just, make sure that littlest things that I needed as an account holder or as a banker, he would come and, help. That's type of a person he was in the community. So even though I'm not a family, I'm just somebody who knew him as a professionally, I just thought he was so caring that I must share that a person who was genuinely caring for every soul that he had came across. And I'm privileged to be part of his goodbye ceremony. Thank you.
Siddhi, Mansimini, would you like to join her, please?
No, if they're not comfortable, I don't want.
Okay, fine then. Be then. They're right there. So,
I'm going to try to use what one dad taught me and keep it together. First, I'm just going to read something that Mansi wrote that she would like to share. So, imagine I'm her. Sometimes people confuse us, so it shouldn't be so hard. Like, you please don't ever confuse us. Dad, you've been my hero since I opened my eyes. Thank you for always being the person I can turn to, the man who never let me down, and the person I have always looked up to. I have always felt that you are the wind beneath my wings, the man I can always turn to, no matter what. You are my superhero. I think Mansi speaks for a lot of people in various ways. I'll do mine now. You're going to have to give me some grace. I'm going to do the best I can. This is also not the Oscars, so no one can play me off with music. No one can come up and punch me. I fight back, especially with the mood I'm in right now. The lucidity of my speech and me standing upright right now is sponsored to you by stage 1 of grief, which is denial, and Casamigas Blanco, and emergency albuterol. So I'm not going to thank you all for coming here today, because just the fact that you're here proves that karma pays back in kind. His soul is good and pure, and that's all it needed to get this room full today. I didn't need text chains to be like, please come, please come. It was a given, because he has given back to somebody in this room in some way that has touched your lives. He has given to me in all ways that touched my whole life. This is the only time I'll admit my age, but I'm 40, so that's a long time. Biology to me is moot. It doesn't exist. Suresh is present tense. As much my father as the man here, whose DNA and face I share. He has unwavering and unconditional love and support for me, and I have felt that my entire life. He has supported me in every event, whether I quit medical school, which, a few years, at least they came in handy at some point, but whether it be starting a fashion line, whether it be not wanting to eat the crust of my pizza, he's blind support in me. We did ask him not to leave us when it was like just us in the room. He didn't listen for once in his life to me. He waited. He was with me for most of my first breaths. I happened to be with him for his last few. It was It's probably traumatizing then, but maybe in time I'll be able to understand that. I'll tell you a quick story about how mine and Suresh Kaka's best friendship began, and we have video proof so nobody can deny it. Mansi's like 4th birthday or something like that, 3rd birthday. I'm toddling around in a diaper. Mansi's birthday is in August. We are in an apartment in Woodside, and I am hot. And so I'm rolling around in a diaper. Mom is helping Mansi cheat in London Bridge. And I'm grabbing onto her legs, being like, somebody please pick me up. And Mom's response was, aane koi lai lo ne? Which is basically like, can someone please get this kid? I'm her child. She said, please get rid of her, because Mansi has to cheat at London Bridge. And the only person who came without blinking an eye was Suresh Kaka. Picked my tiny butt up and was like, I got you. And that's what he did my whole life. He got me. He always got me. I'm going to assume our favorite nurse, Audrey, is correct in that he'll still always get me. It's hard to accept right now. Maybe one day, I don't know. Audrey, I might come to 2DSU just for some help sometimes. This is a man who, unfortunately, when Mansi was sick last year and we were all at the hospital and there was things going on and I had a panic attack and an asthma attack, and he ran for me. He ran, he limped, but he limped fast because it was me, and he wanted to make sure I was also okay along with the rest of his kids. This is a man who woke up at 4:30 in the morning every day to drive to Northern Boulevard, to get to Standard Motor, to do what he does best, to provide for his family, to have his work ethic, on par to no one. Nobody, none of you, no offense, have a work ethic like this man did. And the fact that every single person who has said anything has talked about how helpful, oh, Suresh Bhai was so helpful, oh my God, Suresh Bhai did this, Suresh Bhai did that. Suresh Bhai did everything for everyone, and it's a testament to his humanity and to his heart. This man cries at the drop of a hat. He'll watch a dog limp and he'll be sobbing. He has done so many events, maybe some of yours, maybe some of your children's, when the video business was going on. And we would laugh because when Jyoti was editing, you see Suresh Kaka in a corner crying. It was like a random client. There wasn't anyone he knew. And he's crying when someone's hugging and doing a father-daughter dance, and he's crying because someone's vidaya is going on. And that should just tell you how emotional, empathetic, and present, and in touch as a man from India coming here, in touch with his emotions and his sensitivity, which is something everyone can aspire to. He's an independent man, so the last couple of months were very frustrating for him. He never likes to be taken care of unless it's by his kids. He doesn't enjoy waiting for someone to do something for him. He would prefer to do it for himself and then do something for somebody else. So it was a little difficult, but even then, the reason that Mr. Barai was known on all the floors at Northwell is not because his kids called and stalked every nurse all the time. Sorry, Audrey, again. It's not because we called all the time. It's because what Mr. Barai wants, Mr. Barai gets. And he made sure that his voice was heard. I mean, even the Mets stepped up for him, guys, right now. Really, that's a lot. He's gonna be a little mad that I didn't wear makeup today, because I'm sure he was like, listen, if there's anybody single out here, coming to pay their respects, please marry Siddhi. I'm not looking. You're not looking either. His final, anytime you would text him, his things was always a heart emoji and a thumbs up emoji. And I think that's just the way this man lived his life, with love and with the security and the confidence that everything was going to be okay. heart and thumbs up, heart and thumbs up. If you've ever texted him, especially as his child, that's what you got, heart and thumbs up. He's a septuple bypass patient. He's a prostate cancer survivor. He has like 11 stents, but this man is like, heart and thumbs up. It's fine, it's fine, it's all fine. We could all use a little bit of that right now. I'm a little mad, so maybe I'll use it later, because you shouldn't have left me to begin with. I can't articulate or be eloquent about the soul-sucking void that I'm feeling right now. But again, sponsored to you by Casamigos. If you felt this before, I am so sorry, and I'm so empathetic to you. And if you have never felt this before, I pray to anyone you believe in that you never have to feel this way. I have lost a father. Many have lost a friend, a brother, a husband, a colleague, just an all-around perfect human being. And I say perfect knowing that he's not without flaws, but he is as perfect as you can get if you wanted this person in your corner. He never discriminated on who he was going to support. So finally, if there's two things I can tell you is one, please reflect on your lives at this moment. Please reflect on the people in it. Please reflect on the enrichment and the love that you can give. Not that you can get, that you can give, because that's what he stood by. You didn't have to love him, but he was going to love you. And then you'll be like, oh, damn, that's how life is supposed to be lived. So just for everyone's knowledge, his last words were, Aram, good night, Shinati. Those were the last 3 words he spoke coherently, which make me feel that he was at peace, leaving me in absolute opposite of that. But we're here for him, not for me. So if you would like, not if you would like, I'm requesting it. If you could have just 5 seconds for him, for his heart, for his love, for his help, for his support, for his emotion, his empathy, his love, everything. Also, just side note, he was really happy that PCU validated ballet, just FYI. If you can do that, I would only share videos with him about me like singing randomly just for fun. And I'm not Babandeep from Indian Idol, one of his favorite shows, but if you would like to join me for just a few lines of one of his favorite bhajans, if you know it, please sing loudly, because you don't want to hear me like this right now, but I'll start you off, okay? Humara Gadma Pirajta Srinath Ji Yamuna Ji Mahaprabhu Ji Humara Gadma Pirajta Srinath Ji Yamuna Ji Mahaprabhu Ji Marumanadu Ji Gokul Ban Ravan Marumanadu Ji Gokul Ban Ravan Maratanna Anganiyama Tulsi Navan Mara Prana Jivan Mara Gadma Virajta Srinath Ji Yamuna Ji Mahaprabhu Ji Mara Gadma Virajta Srinath Ji Yamuna Ji Mahaprabhu Ji. I love you, man.
Such a beautiful life. It's hard to describe in this less than 2 hours of time we have. But we wish him peace, blissful journey ahead. May peace be with him. And now I would like to maybe we can line up to pay respects. We can start from the left.
कुर्सी ले लो
कुर्सी लेना है
Saurabh. Where's Saurabh?
Right here. No, I know.
He's such a nice man. I'm glad you could make it. I have to make it down. Just have to
Friends, I have an announcement to make. I talked about Suresh's dedication to his company, Standard Motorworks, one and the only job he had for 40 years. And I'm so happy the chairman and CEO of Standard Motors is here, Mr. Larry Sills, to pay his tribute. Sir.
Thank you.
He's been at all the weddings of both of our daughters, and he is gracious enough today to come and grace the...
Say something? Please.
I'm so sorry to hear about Suresh. One of the nicest people I've ever known in my whole life. He's just a wonderful, wonderful man, and I'm sorry this has happened, but I'm here to pay my respects to this wonderful employee of Standard and a wonderful friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sills, once again. Please.
How many minutes is the survey?
5-10 minutes.
मारुतन purified water. When we take the bath, our body is very pure and clean. So when the body is living, the soul, the body has to be purified from all these puja objects will give you the purification of the physical body. And with this holy water, Ganga Jal, Gulab Jal, Tulsi Patra, everything will purify his soul. So the purpose of this puja is de-attachment. When he lives from here, the 5 objects, physical body dispersed in the 5 atmospheric objects. The soul goes back for the purification and to get the new life. So we have to hold this Ganga Jal and we have to sprinkle it all over him. Om Pavitra Pavitra Vasara Vasanga Topiva Yasmare Pundika Sabaya Vishnave Namah Vishnave Namah Sarva Pavitra Masu Shanti Shanti Bhavatu. The same thing Om Pavitra Pavitra Vasara Vasanga Topiva Yasmare Pundika Sabaya Vishnave. And then somebody waters the Yamuna from the Yamuna. So you can sprinkle this Yamuna. See everybody. Om Pavitra Pavitra Vasara Vasanga Topiva Yasmare Pundika Sabaya Vishnave. Vishnave Namah Vishnave Namah Vishnave Namah Sarva Pavitra Mastu. So this is the nature of the life. And we put the Lord Shiva with him, and the soul gets separated from the body. Shiva will hold the soul until it starts traveling. Now we have to pour all the ghee. This is the natural fiery god's favorite food, and we have body all decorated with the fiery god's favorite food. Yes, yes.
स्वाति ज्योति ने ऊपर जा रहा है.
So this way we are requesting fiery god to accept his body with all his favorite puja items. The chandan sticks we have it. The fiery god has to be pleased to accept the body without any pain. That's why we decorated body with the all fiery good favorite stuff: sesame seeds, barley seeds, wood, sandalwood wood, coconut, and the ghee. And we have decorated the body with all puja items to please the Yam Devata. Yam Devata is the god of death. So now we are ready to bring this body for the crematory. So this physical body will disappear, the soul will remain within all of us, and then it will get new birth after 1 year. Now you see that No, I'm not putting. I'm not putting. No, he's just going to put it here, right? Yeah, just that. Light up that one and then put the flower petal on. Om Agni Devta Pyo Nama Ava. But just leave the stick and put the flower petal. So this is our manual Agni Sanskar. Over there we just press the switch. So everybody hold the flower petal in your right hand and will have to pray one final peace mantra to give this soul the peace. Om Dev Shanti Antariksha Gur Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rakha Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspata Shanti Vishve Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sama Shanti Redi Shanti Sarvagun Shanti Sama Om Shanti 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 Shushanti Bhavatu. So ask for forgiveness if we have committed any mistake, knowingly or unknowingly. We are not going to see this physical body again, but only the soul, which remains in us all the time. So sprinkle flower all over the place.
Put the flower.
Flower sprinkle kare. I would like to
तुलसी क्या नाम है
બેંગલ સુતારી દેવાની ના ના એવું બધું આપણે નથી કરતું ના ના એની બેંગલ પહેરીએ નહીં કરવું નથી ના મેં કોઈ એ બધામાં ક્યાં માનીએ ના 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 જ પાડી
हरि ओम बालेन्दु शेखर दुर्गा गणेशम पीतरम तथा प्रणमुत्तर्य कार्यार्थी करोमि ग्रंथम उत्तमम यम रुद्रम च ब्रह्मांडम विष्णु तत्पुरुषम तथा प्रणम्य देव पंचैतान ग्रंथमि श्राद्ध कल्पतम विजज्ज विनाशास्य महितोत्तव हेतवे यद मत प्रयत्न न विद्यन्ति महाश्रेष्ठ निविद्यते अद्यदादि तिथो काश्यप गोत्र उत्पन्नस्य श्री देह त्याग अर्थे श्री षट्पिंडी कार्य कर्मणा प्रेतस्य द्वारदेशे पांतिक नामना पिंडदान अहम करिष्ये 1700 प्रेतत्व सत्वर खेचर नामना पिंडदान अहम करिष्ये 17 प्रेतस्य विश्राम भूत नामना पिंडदान एषम एषते पिंडते महतौ उपतिष्ठतामम 17 श्री प्रेतस्य चिताया दाहस्य दक्षिणहस्ते साधक नामना पिंडदान अहम करिष्ये ओम कृत्वाम तो दुष्कृत कर्म जानता वाप्य जानता मृत्यु काल वंश जातम मा पंचगत्व आगतम धर्मा धर्म समायुक्तम लोभ मोह समावृतम दहेयम सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान लोकान स गच्छतु ओम क्रव्यादमग्नि प्रहीणोमि दूरम यम राज्यम च गच्छतु जात वेद देवेभ्यो हव्यम च ददातु प्रजानयत स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 सुशांतिर्भवतु ओम पंचपिंड कर्म दान मदत्तव उपतिष्ठतामम अस्ति संचय कर्मणा दुग्धोदक स्नानम आकाश दुग्धोदक दानम अहम करिष्ये It's all for you. It's all for you. So when we do the 5-pind offering in this leaf, just to give this body detached from his own house, from his own neighborhood, from his own four corners, and then for crossing the river. And when we bring this body to the cremation area, we have to detach this body from other dissatisfied souls who always roaming around those areas. So they all come up nearby this body to satisfy. So the fifth pind over there between two legs is for satisfying the dissatisfied soul. And then this body is free of any debt of the attachment. And then only he can get the peaceful journey to the Yam. Since we have a life from the childhood until now, we are attached in every little thing. We have an attachment with our own name. We recognize our body and soul with our name. That is the first attachment. So like at this age, this body is loaded with the impurity and attachment, and the purpose of this puja is just to detachment and purification. And this is all written in one of the Vedas. We called it a Garud Puran. There are 18 Puranas give us the knowledge of Hindu religion and all the other religions, as well as they have a human life. So Garud Puran is explaining us the life after the death. And this is all written in the Garud Puran, that this is how the rituals has to be happening when the soul is out of the body. There are 5 kinds of
I'll ask them to please give the family a private moment, okay?